What is this? Where did you put me?
What?
Like, where are we right now?
Do
we even have to go to the fight? Why don't we just enjoy this view together, guys?
You ever watch what's it called?
Eternals?
Jujutsu Kaisen?
Go fuck
I watched
yourself.
that. I read it.
What is it? What does that have to do with this, bro?
Bro, this is where the demons
Yugi
were chilling
and-
now. The demons were chilling.
Oh yeah.
You mean
Bro,
fucking?
yo, Super,
You mean fucking the
literally
guys?
anything you say, bro.
The curses.
The guys demand domain expansion, bro.
Wait,
Yeah.
guys.
No, yeah.
Yo,
No, it's not a domain expansion. It's like a low-key spot.
No, that was his domain
Yo,
expansion. That was the beach,
Yo,
bro.
McDaddy joined, bro.
McDaddy's
on our team.
Yo, McDaddy,
Yo,
925, bro.
All you need to do
Yo,
is
McDaddy, let's go.
Got it?
Guys, you know I'm
What the
actually
fuck?
educated on this map, right?
Everything apart.
So don't fuck up my vibe.
Part of putting it
I haven't
Yo.
even played on this map.
Bro, just use
That's not
just use the
what I
portals,
wanna
bro.
do.
That's all you gotta do, bro.
I'm dead.
Wait, so
I don't
no,
play
bro, I don't even
healer,
know
but I'll
what?
try.
How did you die?
You got it, bro.
They took him for his foams.
Yo, this McDaddy guy said he does not play healer, but he'll try.
snowball fights.
Guys, I'm not gonna lie. I have no idea how this map works.
Just get
Oh,
to
I'm
the
about
point.
to die.
It's domination. It's domination, bro. That's all that matters.
Pussy.
Oh, never mind. I'm cooking though. I'm cooking.
I'm about to die, bro.
Capture the mission area.
I don't want to play. I don't want to play tanks though.
No one's forcing you to play tank, bro.
He's forcing himself to play tank, bro.
Oh. Yo, fuck that guy, bro. Fuck the guy forcing you to play tank.
Oh, thanks for the heals.
Yeah, you're the only one left, bro.
Oh, the Star-Lord's so weak, bro.
Oh, Black Panther's on me.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Hold down, I'm gonna respawn in 32 seconds, bro.
Black Panther's so quick. I can't even catch that.
Yo, if I want to give my input on this map is fucking horrendous. What is this actually? It's like a maze.
Bro, why are you being such a negative Nancy, bro? Like, you haven't
Bro.
even played the map for more than
Oh my god, bro.
You're not even right, bro.
Don't worry, bro. We
You're not
just gotta
even
get the portals and we'll be cooking them, bro. All right, hit the
Wait,
portal.
yo,
Start
they have
hitting
no
portal.
tanks, yo. What the heck?
Is that portal?
Yo, let's just beat these
No,
guys
there's
up,
portals
bro.
in the map that teleport you across the map.
Oh, I thought you said
Not
make
like
a
not
portal.
like a
bro.
Doctor Strange port. Oh, yeah. I mean that works too, bro. I'll probably make it simpler for
Alright, this
motherfuckers
Black
like Alan,
Panther
bro.
is kind of a problem.
Oh
Michi
no.
padre.
Oh no.
Realistically, what did he gain from doing that? Hope P fucking gets raped. He said
He said,
ha ha
ha, ha,
ha.
ha.
Okay. Oh nah.
Hey,
Oh
lock
nah
in,
nah
lock in.
nah.
That shit pissed me off, bro. I was fine until the ha 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 ha.
This guy's breaking my ankles, cuz.
Black Panther?
Yo, who enjoyed that?
Yo, heal me, brother. Oh my god.
Bro, I'm trembling before bats, bro.
This is my third.
Panther
This is
down?
my fourth hero in 4 lives, bro.
Who's oh wait, what?
Yo, sir, bro, at that
Back to
point,
back.
dog, at that point, you gotta look at yourself and wonder, like,
Yeah, I'll be like, why do I even
why is you changing? Because I'm not gonna lie, bro.
It's the girl that keeps getting a new boyfriend every 2 months. It's like, why do you get a new boyfriend every
Yo,
2
this
months,
guy,
bro?
this guy
Like,
is not,
how-
this guy's like beyond selling,
Nah,
bro.
this
He's
game is
fucking,
broken, bro.
he's fucking buying and returning, bro. What
this guy's scamming at this point.
the? Yo, they're black. They're back. Black Panther. No, I was gonna say Black Panther,
They're
but
white. They're white. They're white.
I mean it was
called
Black
them
Panther and Venom. I
DEI,
can't lie, they were
first of
black,
all.
but
Yo, Spider-Man, we're just jumping. Yo, Shiba, we're just jumping.
oh hell no.
Run. Run for that nigga, yo.
That,
I got you. I got
I'm
your
literally
heals, bro. I
so
got your
scared.
heals, bro. Alan, you're getting cooked though. I can't lie. Why are you running away from me? I got this guy.
Got him.
All right, get Black
By the way, I'm
Panther.
taking. I
There's
promise
a
you-
meeting in my bed. In my bed.
I promise you, I'm taking AC stand. I promise you that.
Oh, watch out for that, guys.
Oh,
I
that-
live?
yo, that's some crazy fucking range.
Yo, I live. I had the exact opposite experience, bro. I thought I
Yo,
was gonna
Munir,
die.
use your ultimate.
What?
Sorry, I just panicked. Didn't know what to say.
Why didn't you use your ultimate, bro?
I didn't. I actually had it. I died.
Yeah, that shit actually killing me. Me when I die, I'm like, yo, please, bro, you jump.
This guy said, dude, rap, do something. Yo, what do you
Yo,
want?
please, bro. Nah, that shit actually killing me.
I'm
Yo,
fucking
Sherpa,
crying.
you stupid fucking all, you lucky bitch. I saw that.
What? Oh, because he
He
took
got 3
ace from
kills in a
you?
row. Yeah, you got 3 kills.
I'm the ace. I'm just the GOAT, bro. I don't know what to say, fam.
You literally got it in the last like 2 seconds. Nice ult.
I think when the last time he got man the ultimate, he got nobody after, yo.
Tanks?
Oh, what does that even mean?
What do you mean? What does that mean? You said
What
thanks,
do
bro.
you mean?
Dun, 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 dun.
30 seconds before you attack.
Thank. Should I?
Why? Yeah. Super, you sent to the team, bro.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah, it's all good, bro. I definitely understood what you're saying.
Things got weirder from there. I'll tell you about it sometime.
Y'all paid your taxes yet? What?
4, 3, 2.
What is bro asking though?
Get into the.
I want you.
Get
I
into the
wait,
interview.
whoa, what is this guy waffling over? I want you.
Oh, what's the fraud,
I'm doing
bro?
fraud.
Duck Marley.
Yo, a bunch of terrorists here, bro.
Yo, what is going on, man?
Whoa.
I'm
Check
doing
my
fraud.
You sure those are bad?
Yeah, you doing fraud, McDaddy?
Oh, yo, well,
I
one
mean,
of them said yeah.
I've never committed fraud, no, dog.
On purpose?
Yo, Black Panther violated me, bro.
I mean, not on purpose. Hey, some paperwork got
I'll just
entered
be
wrong. Is that
boxing
really
people,
my
bro.
fault?
Get a kill, bro.
Can't be, bro.
Yo,
They knew the answer.
On God,
Back in the fight.
bro. I just want.
yeah, you watch the gameplay?
Yo.
We just punching a bunch of dudes
Alan's-
and running away.
Alan's
Punching
selling, bro?
dudes. Bro, I'm not selling. If you watch my gameplay, like 3 men chasing me, bro.
Alan's getting commission off of
3
these
men
kills.
chasing you, bro?
Yeah.
I didn't know you were baddie like that.
Wait, what?
Wait.
Yeah, sir, but if you
Oh,
actually
you're
watch
the
that
ting,
game,
bro. This
you
guy's really
actually
the
don't know
ting,
what's
bro.
going on.
You got 3 men chasing you? Yo, get these frauds. Yeah. Yo, get this fucking Black Panther, bro. Oh, he cooked me. Oh my god.
How is he so good? I just.
Oh my god.
Yo, why is he after me?
What do you mean? Why is he after you? Because he killed 3 of us already, bro. You're just next.
Bro, I thought I was hidden.
Yo, he is good though. I will admit that.
Bro, it's not hidden if you're obviously hiding in there, bro. Oh,
So I'm
I'm,
actually
Don't worry,
gonna-
guys.
oh, I'm so
Nah,
crazy.
I'm on my 7th hero.
Okay, sir.
Okay, Iron Man, I think we
log
actually got
out,
this
log
time.
out, bro. Sir, this place you gotta log out, bro. Because what is this, bro?
Control loss needs a snowball in the face.
Oh, nah, I actually believe in you as Iron Man, bro.
Be strong together.
Got the fish, bro.
Hey.
Bro got ha.
Ja. Yo, get the Black Panther, though. That's the real thing we need to do. Oh, co-op time? Let's go. Black Panther's half health. He's running. He got a health pack. He got the health pack. I'm still chasing him. Alright, I'm running away. He's touching me. I'm ulting because he's touching me.
I'll get you next time. Strike lightning.
Yo, guys are back. The shark is back.
Keep an eye on this spot. I like the cold.
Oh,
Oh my god.
get Star-Lord. Get Star-Lord.
Black Panther is dead.
Alright, get Scarlet. Get Scarlet. Get Scarlet. Get Scarlet. Get Scarlet. Oh, I'm dead.
Just hide.
Fuck.
No, I was actually trying to kill her. You guys are hiding, bro. I
Yo,
don't
Fish
know.
is
was doing
killing me
damage,
up the
but then
scar,
you
bro.
couldn't kill her once we was in the fucking invisible woman shit, bro.
Literally just teleported.
Dude, this guy thinks I can like one hit kill, bro.
Oh, yeah, take the portal. Take the portal. Take the portal. Alright, you didn't take the portal.
Fuck
Yo,
your
this is
portal,
the
bro.
best jet I've ever seen, bro. Like,
I'm getting my cardio in right now.
That's one way to see it.
I only got one person with
Alright,
that.
Black Panther's dead. Black Panther's dead. Alright, get the Punisher. Get the Punisher. I'm dead.
Guys, about to lose.
This fucking shark is killing my ass. Oh,
Watch out for that, guys.
Storm's about to
Yeah,
cook for
this-
us. Yeah.
Super good shit. Beat his fucking ass. Use your ult at the right time.
Get in there, Surfo.
I can't stop fucking dying, guys.
Well, Duck Marley's in our back line. The healers are dead.
Need some heals.
Oh, my bad. I was like half a second too slow. It's okay. It's just Black Panther left.
Another hit for Luna Snow.
Where is he?
That is
Just
not
shit.
a-
He's over there. He's over there.
Keep an eye
Where?
on
Where?
Behind this fucking tree, bro.
Oh my god, Scar.
He's up.
Okay.
Oh my
It's time for me to
god.
switch.
Hey, you spent a good amount of time on Iron Man though. 19 and 9.
Someone needs a snowball.
I'm stuck. Oh my.
Take the portal, take the portal.
We'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
But generally, how are we even losing? I'm really confused.
Black Panther.
Jeff's dead.
Yo, we need to target them together. But you are also getting raped by him.
Oh, I died.
Yeah, it's hard to focus on one guy when everyone's
I
just
get
come
it.
together like that. You
Surf,
know?
I'll hold it down for the love of God.
No, we're doing it.
Someone needs a snowball in the face.
Fuck.
Oh shit. I'm almost back.
Get the shark dead.
Oh, you stepped off the
Oh,
point.
everyone got off.
Big Daddy,
Oh,
Big
yo,
Daddy,
yo.
no.
We got off point.
Big Daddy got off point for a second, bro.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I got off point and someone else got off point with me. We were jumping like 2 people.
I mean, that's probably where the Scarlet Witch is gonna release her ult, right? So
Yeah, we had to step off point for a second, but
Fuck.
alright.
Wow.
No, we need an unorthodox team up, bro. It's just, it's just everyone randomize their character right now, bro. Close your eyes and pick someone. I think that's what we need to do.
Alright, bet.
Snow. Like the moon.
Again, that's crazy.
Shine in dark.
What are the chances?
Damn.
The battlefield may change, but the war never ends.
Okay,
To ally with one man,
No way I got Luna Snow.
beat the other.
that's good. You have a team up with Super Eats.
Oh, yeah.
Starts in 5,
I've never used Luna Snow before, by the way.
3,
Ready to do
That's not gonna worry. That's not gonna worry.
Bro,
We just need to be fresh,
you're
bro.
attacking your healer the same button.
Got it?
Yo, so Black Panther should be like
If you guard someone when you heal them, or when you heal someone else that heals them
Future is
too.
pretty clear.
Okay, so we're gonna just like beeline it for the Black Panther.
Yeah.
We have to, yeah.
I bet.
I'm
gonna
going
go
for the
after
healer, bro.
healers.
Yeah, let's go.
Alright.
Super, how'd you get Iron Fist again, yo?
This guy didn't.
The healer killed me, bro. I ain't gonna lie. The healer got me still.
What the
It's all good,
fuck?
it's all good.
Oh my god. It's okay, touch the point. The point's down here.
Do not let them cap.
Scarlet
Good
Witch
shit,
is
good
down.
shit, good shit.
Oh,
Good
there's
shit.
Shark. Oh, he still swallowed me.
Pause.
Oh, okay. There's nowhere to go. Let's go.
Michi madre. Yo, Black Panther's up here.
Yo, if you can't get the Black Panther, just fucking take everyone that's around him, bro.
Oh my fucking god.
But then he just takes the whole team himself.
I'm actually getting cooked by the Shark right now. I can't lie to you.
He's
So
that
quick, you
good.
can't even lock onto him.
Yeah, he cooked me.
I know.
Bro, look at his fucking stats, bro. He out-healed everybody. And he
I'm not gonna lie, bro.
Damage like everybody
That-
too, bro.
That Dark Panther might be the most insane.
What?
Yo, this guy's racist, bro. This guy's racist, bro. What's up with this dude, bro?
Surf, how many
Genuinely-
characters did you play, bro? Holy shit.
Yo, Surfer played the entire Marvel Rivals like game.
8 characters, bro.
What the fuck is it?
That's actually crazy.
So you guys gonna do one more match or what?
How many times do I have to die to play the entire roster, bro?
The right heroes
30.
can make all the difference.
Say less.
30 something. Say less? What do you mean say less?
Oh, fuck
You
it.
can't play the
I'll
whole
dive.
roster because then we'd have to switch
I
characters.
got inspired still. I'm not gonna switch.
Nah, Surfer's actually killing me, bro. Why did he play the fucking like? What the fuck?
Yeah, Surf, I hope you know that Alan's like trying to roast you in the group chat, bro.
Is that actually?
No, I'm not, bro. I literally just mentioned the fact you changed
Surf
character.
out trying to play the
Nah,
whole
yeah,
entire
yeah.
roster. He's trying to
How's
picture,
that me
bro.
roasting you?
Nah.
The battle starts in 5,
What do you mean?
GG's, bro.
3,
No, how is that? Like, how is that roasting you?
Bro
I just sent the fucking
picture with
picture.
the. Yeah, you sent the. That's doing a lot, bro.
Really? I just thought it was funny.
I didn't say it wasn't funny.
Oh no, it was especially funny.